everybody, welcome back to our channel. It's been a minute. The interesting thing about it is that the last time we recorded, it was my birthday and we were celebrating. But then in the middle of that, my best friend, my bestie Noxie, experienced a death in the family, and hence we were not able to record. And as we know, that life happens, but now we're here today. And hey Noxie, how are you, my darling?
Hey friend, I'm good. I'm actually really good. How are you doing?
I'm very good. I see you've changed your hair.
It's a new season, friend. Let's continue with life and be happy, Yeah.
You know what they say, a woman who cuts her hair is about to change her life, and I'm really sorry for your loss of your granny. And I know it was not an easy time, but how are you feeling? How's everything going ever since that?
You know what? To be honest, it has been a season that is a lot easier than I had anticipated to be. First of all, my grandmother was literally my everything, especially from my father's side, because my dad passed away when I was about 3. So the only connection that I have to my dad, or the most immediate connection that I've had to my dad, has always been my grandmother, and losing her, actually the thought of losing her prior to me losing her, the thought of losing her had always been one that I was like, I don't know what I would do without her and all of that. And it's so phenomenal, I kid you not, it is so phenomenal how God has literally come through for me in this season. I've experienced love that I did not know I had from people around me. I've experienced a peace and a joy that I didn't know I would be able to experience and go through so quickly in the process. I mean, I know the whole story about how, it all gets better with time and all of that, but sure, I honestly don't even know how to explain it myself. All I know that I am where I am right now purely because of God. Honestly.
Wow.
Honestly. Yes.
Wow. And I think because right now in the lockdown, there's so many restrictions. I know that we were able just to reach out for a minute, really. But I'm just thinking that, as the build-up, as your granny was in hospital and everything, and I remember it was a really emotional time. But then when you say that God showed you love and God showed you healing, it kind of sort of reminds me of when my brother passed away. When it just hit, my brother, right? When he passed away in a tragic car accident. And we were devastated. And to go through that period of, 1, losing him, number 2, losing him in an accident so suddenly, and we were expecting so much. So as you're saying that you received so much love during this period, and I think that's what keeps us alive and keeping going. But during this time of lockdown, it's so difficult that there's so many restrictions and we are not able to completely reach out to the people we love. We are not completely able to be there for one another as we would. How it is when we are mourning, people come through and then they just give you that support and that ministry of presence. But I'm believing that, as you say, God has showed you and poured out love through people in different ways. In this time, like, how is it that we can sort of fill you up more? I know it's gonna be a journey. How can we be there for you? How can we support you even further during this time?
You know what, friend, to be honest with you, what I have right now is something I would have never been able to imagine or even ask for. Number one, you have been one of the greatest pillars right now in the season for me. I've got my brother, my cousin. I call him my brother, but he's actually my cousin brother, my father's younger brother. Oh, that boy, that guy, he loves me so much, and it's so great to receive that, especially right now. I think more than anything, when somebody, my dad from America, I have another dad from America, and he literally phones me all the time, and he's checking on me all the time, and he's praying for me. I've got a circle, or a circle basically of friends who are literally calling me, praying for me, sharing scripture with me all the time. So to be honest, all that you guys have been doing for me right now, I couldn't ask for more. If I had to ask for more, I would be selfish, you know. As you know, as soon as we buried my grandmother, a couple of days later, then my uncle passed away, you know.
Yes.
Sure. So it's been an emotional season for us as a family.
Yeah.
But I think more than anything, the thing that is carrying us through this season is the support and the love, and especially God.
But you know what, my friend, what I'm thinking as well is that don't also be afraid to feel, because I'm also reminded of the time when my brother passed, as I mentioned, that we just had to get real with God, because you know, when somebody passes away, it feels like a part of you is just taken away. And we were just so upfront with God, you know, when you were like, Lord, I don't understand what's going on, because sometimes it gets so overwhelming that you don't even know left or right. I remember I was such a wreck during that period, and to say, you know what, people would reach out to me, but somehow I couldn't open myself to reach out to them. And I think what is important during this time, as you say, when people are pouring out love, that you open yourself up to receive it, you know, but also go through the process, mourn, you must grieve. You know, the Bible says that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and I think, as you say, that during this time, that's what you're experiencing. But maybe for somebody it might be different. They might be feeling alone. They might be feeling like, God, why now? God, why this way? God, why this person? And I think, you know, it's part of our life journey, and it's so important that even during this time, when people are pouring out love, that we open up our hearts to receive it. And even if we have, for example, questions to God, to say, Lord, why? Why this person? Why this way? Why am I feeling the pain? And, you know, I think, you know, God will just breathe his healing on our hearts, you know. And I think, you know, because one of the greatest things that I realized as we went through the mourning and the grieving process is the thing of the assurance of knowing that your loved one, you know, once they departed, and especially if they're with the Lord, then it makes it a bit easier. But, you know, it doesn't take away the pain that you feel during the process, you know. But I'm glad that you're saying that you're experiencing love, and that God is bringing you the comfort. And I think, you know, especially now during this time when people cannot be fully present, that the best thing we can do is just to lean on God, to say, Lord, you are our ever-present help in times of need. Lord, you are the one who is the God of comfort. Bring me comfort so that even in my pain, you know, I can lean on you. And I hope, my friend, that you're actually feeling that God is breathing his healing on your life and your family.
And thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. What you said there is extremely profound. It's extremely profound and very, very important to say, don't be afraid to feel. There are people who care out there. And the more honest you are about your feelings, the more that it is easier, or the easier it is for you to be able to heal from that process, because then people know how to be there for you. And that was one of the things that one of my aunts was telling me as soon as I found out about my grandmother. And she literally held me, and she's like, I'm not going to let you go until you have cried your eyes out. And I literally sat there and I cried the whole day. But the moment I got up from her lap, you know, all that weight, all that emotion had almost been relieved, you know, taken off my shoulders. So it is very, very important. We all deal with these things differently, but it is important to communicate, at least let one person know what it is that you are going through. My friend, let's talk about right now. Right now is a season that is a very hard season, especially now for us in South Africa, where, you know, I was actually reading a meme the other day, and it said that we are now at a place where we know somebody who is infected and affected by COVID-19. Um, let's just talk about that for a minute. I feel like right now, if not most of us, quite a few of us have known or know somebody or have experienced it personally, have been infected by the virus personally, or something has been going on in this season. How are we going to be able to be supportive to those people, who need us right now, especially being it a lockdown season and we can't physically be there for them?
My friend, I mean, as we said, like the past 2 weeks have just been hectic. You've been hearing this person is tested positive, this person has passed away, and then it's been such a morbid atmosphere. It's been very heavy. And I think the best thing we can do is like really reach out to people, like call the person, because right now with the lockdown restrictions, we cannot be physically there. Give people, for example, encouraging verses on a day-to-day basis, touch base on people and then send them that how are you, and especially those right now, because I've got some of my friends who are COVID positive. I've got some people who've lost their parents, and it's just hitting closer to home. And as you were saying that we all know somebody, and then somebody was like, the statistics have now become names. Actually no, the statistics have become names that we know, and now it's hitting closer to home. And I think all we just need to do is keep encouraging one another, because if you watch the news, if you watch the statistics, one can end up becoming depressed and really feeling the heaviness. But I think right now it's time that we just reach out, touch base with one another and keep encouraging one another, because the thing is, as we say, it's now hitting closer to home, and now we are realizing that wow, this thing is actually real, and it's not it is not a figment of our imagination, and we're literally right in the thick of a hectic pandemic. And I think what's important now is just to reach out to God and reach out to one another, so that we can encourage one another in the journey. And I think, as you were saying, that you managed to cry on your aunt's lap. For me, that is so profound, because we need to allow ourselves to say, you know what, take stock. If somebody becomes, let's say, infected or affected, then to say, you know what, this is where I find myself and this is how I feel. Cry it out if you have to, but then rise up again, rise up again and be able to face the journey, so that you do not feel the heaviness that comes with this season. And I think it's very important that we continually touch on one another, continually send each other encouraging words to say, are you okay? And so that we keep going. And as I'm thinking of you, when you said you lost your grandmother, and I know that you also lost your uncle, it's been heavy, on the family alone. So now, how do we then get you up? How do we then get the other members of your family up? So it's very important that we are there for each other, that we support each other, even though we can't be there physically with one another. We just a call away, an email away, and just to make sure that we carry one another's burdens, during times and seasons like this.
That is so true. You've highlighted points that are very, very important. Let's be there for each other. And more than being there for each other, I think let's be sensitive to hear what people are not saying. Let's be sensitive to feel what people may be going through but are afraid to communicate. It is a very, very, sensitive season right now. So yes, we need God the whole time. And guys, coronavirus is real. It is real, and it is taking over. Let us be careful. Let us stay home, like we are being told to stay home, unless we need to do things that are not, unless we need to go out. Let's not just be going out unnecessarily. Let us be mindful of the things that we do. Let us stay, let's clean our hands. Let's do what we are being told to do. And I think we can be able to fight this quicker if we just do what is needed to be done.
I totally agree with my lovely friend to say, let's just take the precautionary measures. Let's just be careful, and also in everything, check in on one another, because now it's starting to hit home, and it's affecting us in ways that we can't understand. And also, if you're feeling a bit down or depressed, please do reach out to your immediate family, your friends, or even your church, so that they'll be able to support you during a time of bereavement, or even if you're affected or infected with the coronavirus. So we want you to always remember that God is close to those who are brokenhearted. God will carry you through all the seasons, and continually to trust him, and cast all your cares upon him, because he does care for you. So this is me, Khanzi.
And this is myself, Noxie.
And remember, keep dancing to the beat of the rhythms of grace.